Hello, and welcome to Who's Taking Watch? The Dragon's Might. My name is Bradley, and I will be your DM for this, the very first arc of our new show. This is a anthology D&D actual play series where this group of a bunch of friends and DMs take turns telling stories in our favorite worlds of fiction and, playing some 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons while we're at it. So, like I mentioned, my name's Brad, and why don't we go around and just introduce ourselves real quick?
I'm Zach.
I'm Victor.
I'm Michelle.
And I'm Marty.
And together we are the Spice Girls.
Shotgun scary.
Now, real quick, if you're just happening upon this out of the blue and wondering where a good place to start is, this is it. This is the first episode that we're taping for this show. So you're in the perfect place to start. If you're here in the future and we have kept up with what we've planned, we'll have plenty of other series of different worlds and stories to take part in, but this is where we're all beginning. Now, at the time that you're watching this, you will be able to watch the first 3 sessions of our game online on our YouTube page, after which our episodes will be coming out every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, but for now, you get a little sneak peek of the first 3. So just a couple of ground rules, sort of just to talk about what the scope of what we're doing here is. This is an arc that I'm really excited to be telling in one of my favorite fantasy worlds, which is Robert Jordan's The Wheel of Time. Now, that's not to say that this is remotely canonical. This is just us envisioning unexplored parts of one of my favorite worlds and trying to tell a story in them. So these events are going to be taking place sort of concurrent and just before the events of the first book, The Eye of the World, which also sort of lines up with the first season of the show on Amazon that's just been airing, which as someone whose favorite series is The Wheel of Time and whose favorite show is Survivor, seeing Rafe Judkins run a show of The Wheel of Time is a unique delight for me. So I'm really going to do my best to keep no spoilers beyond the first book and beyond the first season, but for those of you who are a little bit further on into the series, such as myself, there'll hopefully be a couple of little interesting Easter eggs in there. Just as a last note, this is so exciting. What you don't know is that we've been preparing for this throughout various stages of the pandemic, which if you're way in the future, Google that. It's a wild ride. We've been preparing this for a long time, and I'm just really excited to be telling a fun story in one of my favorite worlds with some of my favorite storytellers. So, without any further ado, I think that we are going to turn the page and begin our very first episode of Who's Taking Watch? The Dragon's Might. The wheel of time turns, and ages come and pass, leaving memories that become legend. Legend fades to myth, and even myth is long forgotten when the age that gave birth to it comes again. In one age, called the Third Age by some, an age yet to come, an age long past, a wind rose at the mouth of the river Eldar. The wind was not the beginning. There are neither beginnings nor endings in the turning of the Wheel of Time, but it was a beginning. Tumbling over the choppy surf that gave proof to the name of the Sea of Storms, this wind blew north, quickly past the bustling city of Abu Dar and through vast plain and wood. Through bough and branch, this wind wound its way northward along the Eldar, where crisp Altaran sunsets gave way to the frigid frost of the early Gieldinin morning. Westward the wind traveled, picking up with it first rain, then an unseasonable snow that dusted the land in white. Winding away from the river, the wind descended upon a hilltop copse of trees, where it bit at the fading flame of a flickering campfire. A sleeping figure curled in a ball at its foot shivered in restless slumber as their companion pulled their hood tighter around their face, squinting into the dull gray morning in a vain attempt to spy their destination, hidden by yet another sudden squall of thick snowflakes. And now, if you'll permit me to be a little bit cheeky here, who's taking watch? See what he did there.
Oh boy. I definitely probably took the night watch.
I was gonna say if it's heading from night into morning, it's probably you.
Yeah. So definitely got my back up, bundled up. It's cold, right?
It's cold, yeah. Snow's falling out of season.
Yeah. So I'm checking about. I'm the one who's up right now.
Okay. And describe, Zach, describe what we would see if we followed this wind and saw your character.
Yeah, I stick out just a little bit in the squall only because the coverings that I have are a dark color. Green, brown, blackish. I have a large cloak that covers me and whatever you can see of my armor. I have short kind of jet black hair that's cropped in all sorts of sides that jet out from under my hood. I've got some small cuts that you can see. I've gotten into my fair share of fights. I'm tallish, about 6 foot, but you can't really tell when I'm sitting. I look like a loner, an outlander.
And as this lone outlander sits squinting, you could almost spy the shape of what it is you're camping above, the next town that you're about to walk into. You can almost spy it through the snow, but every time that you think you found a shape, another blown squall of snow takes it away from right out in front of you. And it's a bitterly cold night. Not as cold as nights can be, but for this, still not quite the end of the year. This is colder than most winters typically would get. And rather than snow that sort of falls and dissipates, there's some snow sort of sticking on the ground a little bit here.
Yeah, I'm regretting not lighting that fire that Tal wanted.
Yeah, you could see last night your companion was arguing for maybe a bit of a taller fire and you wanted to keep it low, and now keeping it low is maybe a bit of a regrettable choice. But you do notice that the sun has somewhere out there probably risen, because it's gone from just the immediate vicinity that you could see of the snow blowing around in front of you to now seeing this gray illuminating it. And you could tell that it's probably, in spite of the cloud cover, morning by now.
Yeah. Well, at that point, I'll probably take my foot a little bit and just nudge my companion sleeping. Try to wake them up. Boy.
Tal will be fully ensconced in the bedroll, and instead of seeing a head pop up, you just kind of see a rolling where just this part of the face comes out, and you hear a voice say, "Where do you think cold comes from?"
Everywhere. We need to get up.
But if we know where cold comes from, then we can make it go away. Right? That's how that works.
If it was that simple, everyone would do it. No. We need to hurry to the next town when the market's open.
Yeah, fine. And so Tal will kind of crawl out of his bedroll, try to grab his cloak as quickly as possible, wrap it around him, like.
Yeah, and in that moment, that Tal is no longer a sleeping bag. I think it's one of like the cocoon ones. The moment that Tal is no longer a sleeping bag with a face, what do we see of your character, Michelle?
Tal is slim, average height, short cropped brown hair, tan skin. You can tell that he's spent a lot of his time outside. If you look at his clothes, very clearly farmer's clothes. Nothing fancy about him. You'd almost expect to see some straw still stuck in his hair. And he's kind of bouncing from one gangly foot to the other, trying to pull on his boots.
Yeah, and you guys managed to get yourselves up, and you've been traveling together, but the weather has gotten consistently worse. And whereas I think in previous mornings maybe you might have trained together, sparred together, tried to sharpen your skills, I think there's an unspoken agreement between you guys that this is not the morning for that. As the snow does start to clear a little bit, and you see down below you on the top of this sort of hilltop that you've taken shelter in, this little stand of trees, you see that underneath you, back from the other side of the hill that you're standing on, the river Eldar winds back around until it comes into connection with a town. Tal, this might be the biggest town you've ever seen. Some of these inns look like they have, is that stone roofs? Looks like a big deal.
Have you ever seen a town that big?
No. That's why I want you to stick by me when we go into this one. We're not splitting up.
No errands?
Not in this town.
I did a really good job with the other errands.
Excellent job.
I got you those lockpicks.
You did, and I don't think I'll doubt your skills anymore.
Is our I'm still your squire?
Until otherwise notified. Yeah, of course.
Okie doke.
Bundle up, and I'll start walking, gear up my swords, my shield, just a bunch of weapons and daggers, and start heading out.
Tal frantically starts grabbing his bags.
Yeah.
Clinking and clanking, trying to catch up.
I feel like as many weapons as you have as many like outdoor travel survival essentials that you buy for your dad on Father's Day, you know?
There's my flint and steel, there's my waterproof kindling rack, there's my...
Yeah.
There's the big pot that's good for the rabbits.
What do you guys sort of looking for? You mentioned the market as you wanted to head into town. So as you guys are making this walk down, there's no one really else on the road. And you could see even like, it seems like this is maybe an important trade stop in that there are 3 stone piers outside on the river of this town, but they are not attended to at all right now. And you can see even most of the river by where the piers are at is covered in white. And the river is still flowing through the middle. It's not frozen over, but it looks like there's maybe been a disruption to the regular trade routes in here. So it's pretty bare in terms of people making their way into the town. But what is it that you're looking for necessarily when you're going in?
So I'm assuming that we've caught some game in our travels.
Sure.
So at this moment, I'm just trying to get the jump on anybody who might be starting their market or traveling with their wares. Get a jump on them, be like, hey, you don't got to move this product today. We'll buy it from you fresh right here. Try to get in before there's large crowds of people.
100%. As you walk in, you see the sounds of a town, which you've been without for a little while here, maybe about the last week or so. But there is still nonetheless bustling atmosphere here. This is a town that has stone walls surrounding it. It has paved, like cobblestoned roads. And so even in this cold, you can see that most of the snow is already clear off of the roads as people take very reluctant horses and donkeys to carry their carts seemingly towards the town square as you enter and see a sign upon entry of the town that says, "Welcome to Samara."
What kind of people are we seeing here? Are these people looking like jovial? Are they happy they're shopping? Are they like, oh, we're not ready for this weather?
Yeah, you're seeing... go ahead and make me an insight check, actually. Roll number one. Roll number one, zero pressure.
Hey, it was a 19.
Hey.
Insight. Plus 221.
Dang, you're beating me on the level 1? Come on.
I got it.
With a 21, I mean, the immediate thing that you see is people with warm coats wrapped around them. Sort of that, like, it's not that freezing yet, but it's maybe that overreaction that for us here in, like, Montreal, when we have that first really cold day in November, that first really cold day in November.
I'm sorry, this morning?
Okay, so when Michelle this morning took out her full, like, fleece parka, majestic winter coat, so it's maybe a little bit of that. Maybe it's not quite as cold as that would let on, and you're seeing people walk around with their hands in their coat pockets and caps on, you know, shivering around a little bit. But with the 21, you do also catch a little bit of a flicker of unease when they look to you and Tal as you enter. Maybe not even Tal, you might miss it because people are probably just looking at you and giving you a nod. Even some people are giving you a small smile, morning. But you being a bit more aware of sort of those around you, what you might notice is if you turn around, you might catch them walking away and then sneaking just a glance back at you guys. So there are certainly eyes on you, and there seems to be a little bit of unease as you enter the town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Tal does not notice this because while we're entering town, Tal is saying, look, I understand the stone walls. It keeps out bad people. I understand the stone ground. You don't want to have wagon ruts. Why would you have a stone roof? Those things don't insulate. Losing it at the stone roofs.
I'm just nodding along. Of course, Tal. Yeah, it seems barbaric to me as well. I know.
Yeah, as you guys are muttering about the stone roofs and you say seems barbaric, you pass by one of those really tough old ladies who's like walking around in a t-shirt in the winter, who kind of just like looks back at you and goes, "What's your language?" and walks on. But you find your way to the town square, and what do you think when you say you caught game? What do you figure you have?
Like probably a couple foxes, some smallish game, you know, maybe, I don't know.
Oh, does one of you guys want to roll me a survival check to see how successful that was?
This one is the hunter.
Yeah, Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah.
Can you help me?
Yes.
You can have it.
Because I just rolled well last time. I am not proficient in
You
this.
set a precedent for yourself.
You did.
Oh, that is full cocked. Do you confirm that this is cocked?
That's a load of cock.
That's...
In a
doesn't mean
kosher
what you think
sense,
it
yes.
Okay.
We're
13.
already gonna have to bleep that out.
13.
Didn't even
13.
mean it.
Nah, that this stands. You don't have to put your money in the swear jar yet.
I got one pass, so.
With a 13, you got one fox.
Okay.
But its coat is kind of nice. And then you've got, in trying to present them as well as you can, I think you've got a couple of squirrels, which I imagine Tal has spent the evening combing out their tails so that
Oh,
they look a
100%.
little bit bigger and a little bit
nice
fluffier.
little
fluffier.
hat,
Yeah,
you
totally.
know.
Yeah, get their chinchilla on, you know?
Tail fluff, and like as soon as Tal sees anyone looking at the fluffy squirrel tails, he'll be like, "You see how nice of a hat this could make if it's just like right around the front. It's gonna keep you really warm. Like the meat's gonna fill your belly, but this thing's gonna keep you warm for years."
You are giving this directive to someone that turns around and looks like Stoic from How to Train Your Dragon, like just a huge blacksmith-looking person who turns around and looks at you as you're giving this pitch on squirrels. Give me a persuasion check.
I didn't like you. We're gonna try you.
Okay, yeah, it's the dice's fault.
It is. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, interesting.
5.
Look, young man, I'm sure that some kid somewhere is interested in having a little toy, pet, but your
To
bark.
which the very dead tail.
Yeah. Okay, you're not fooling anyone, kid. Get out of here, scram. You do find your way into the town center where it looks like, sort of given the more barren nature of the town, there's a little bit less trade going on. There are a couple of stands of people selling. It looks like someone is selling firewood that they've chopped. It looks like there is one person who is selling sort of like withered old like fruits that they have kept and preserved and stored for the winter. There don't seem to be a ton of people who are trading in like meats or furs or anything like that, but there are some vendors here.
I'll like look around, see the kind of reception we're getting. I'll look back at Tal. I'll go, do you like the town so far?
Nobody's gonna buy my squirrels.
Not today. But we can sell them maybe tomorrow. How long do you want to stay?
I don't know. It's the biggest place I've ever been. Taking a look around might be nice, but all the other towns we've been to, people have seemed pretty keen on sending us on our way.
This is a big one. It's getting kind of cold out. Storm might blow in soon. Why don't we get some rooms up in the inn, take our time, drop our stuff. We could take our time looking around.
We're gonna sleep in an inn?
Just for tonight. I don't want to get caught outside in this...
I'm gonna be warm.
Are you... Yes. I won't even ask. Okay. I'm warm every night, but okay. Yeah, let's go drop our stuff off. Maybe come back when things are open up a bit more.
You know how you see those kids who, like, when they're walking, it's like a hop on the ball of their foot every time?
Yeah.
That's how Tal's walking, like, I'm gonna sleep in an inn. Nobody's gonna believe it.
As you guys are talking about inns and looking around with your stuff and not being able to sell squirrels, which you, not out of any, like, I wish I could sell these squirrels, it's kind of just the volume you operate at. But an older woman who is selling some of these fruits leans over her counter and goes, "Are you looking to sell any of those wonderful pelts, dear?"
I'll turn around with, like, the whole string of them and kind of, like, hold them like a smile in front of me, like, yes, ma'am.
Whoa, jarring! It's a little bit, no, not for me. But if you and your...
He is my squire.
If you and your squire are looking for a place that maybe will trade in meats, the inn's maybe the only place that's taking them. They, typically make a good broth for the people in the winter when the times are a little scarce, but they'll give you fair coin for what you've taken. It's you'd be looking for the Dancing Goose.
The Dancing Goose. You see, like, definitely rolling my eyes at this name. And
It's the Dancing Goose. It's actually the good inn in town. There's a bunch of other ones, but the Dancing Goose is the one to go to.
And the barkeeper's name?
Oh, that'd be Dal Thorne.
And you are?
I am Marine.
Marine.
Yes.
Thank you for helping my squire and I, Marine, for your troubles. And I'll just flip her a silver.
Flip her a silver, and she takes the silver and catches it with a little bit of alarm and goes, "Oh, that's too generous. Take a persimmon." And she hands the, like, wrinkliest, most out-of-season persimmon in the world to you. Take one, I insist. Take my persimmons.
If you insist.
Oh,
Tal, take the persimmon.
Ooh.
I will. I'll, like, sling the string around my neck and take the persimmon with both hands.
Yes.
What's a persimmon?
You are the strangest squire I've ever seen in my times.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, not a compliment. Enjoy, get out of the cold. And she...
Thank you.
Yeah. Sort of turns around and starts talking to the person who is, selling firewood. get a load of these ones.
What's a persimmon? Do persimmons grow around here? Are they always this color?
Never seen one before. I have no idea what a persimmon is.
How do you eat them?
I assume you don't.
This is that.
I was gonna say.
I was gonna keep going.
The fact that you're holding it with 2 hands worries me.
No, like cup.
Yeah, cups.
We'll ask the innkeeper.
Yeah.
They're not.
No.
They're not like this.
No.
They're not melons.
Think apple. I'm sorry. I should have known. I should have given you apple.
Apple, yeah.
But this is every single episode. I'm gonna teach you a new fruit or vegetable.
How do we surprise that? Yeah, just throw in fruits and veggies. That's the game.
That's mean. That's
Yeah.
honestly
That's
where
I mean,
They're
art
actually
imitates life.
very good dried.
I will
Dried
have to Google
persimmons.
them when I get home.
Key.
Yeah, now you just have to imagine this forbidden fruit. As you guys turn around and make your way to the Dancing Goose, which is pretty easy to find. It looks like this is a town that has industry, but the commerce is small enough that, like, if you're going to a blacksmith shop, it looks like there's just a hammer and an anvil on the door. There's not a name. If you're going to someone who does roofing, a thatcher, it's similar. It's kind of just like the building is designed to look like that thing. There's maybe not competition, but inns there are a few, and the signs are garish. You see one of a very like fierce looking bull that is painted blue. You see one of what looks like a deer with one antler, and it's like anthropomorphized and holding a mug. And you see another one that is a goose with its wings up akimbo and its feet are like strangely crossed.
I love it.
Beautiful.
Found it.
Astonishing perception. Yes. Lead the way.
Really?
Well, yes, why not? We're buying a room here, so it really doesn't matter. It matters a little bit what you say. Stay close to me. Okay. We'll walk in together.
As you guys leave the outdoors and enter the wide wooden doors of the Golden Goose, immediately, just warmth that you haven't known in some time is hitting you guys, and it's a nice feeling. As you walk in, there is a couple of people holding conversations, but not very many. Seems like more of a quiet time, especially being early in the day and commerce not happening. And you see behind the bar, there seems to be a young woman who is there just sort of cleaning up, a towel in her hand. As Martin, what do they see as you turn around at the sound of the door opening?
So you'll see a short figure. She has dark brown hair that comes down in a wavy, messy type of low ponytail, so it hangs a little bit around. And she has dark brown skin with wearing a cream-colored blouse, slightly puffy shoulders, but with full long sleeves, and brown skirts that go all the way to the floor. And I'm just there with a handkerchief, wiping down the bar and having a look and seeing how many people are in, and if I can get anyone a drink or something.
Well, it looks like there's 2 people that could certainly use a warm drink right now.
She'll smile, throw the towel over her side. Hello. Who might you be, and what would you like to drink?
We're looking for Dal Thorne. We're looking for some rooms.
Yes, he's in the kitchen at the moment. Would you like to take a seat, perhaps, and I can get you a warm beverage? A cocoa, perhaps? Seems to be a crowd pleaser this time of year.
Hearing the word kitchen, Tal's just gonna quietly take the animals from around his neck and be like,
Yes, we have some pelts that Marine sent us. She said that you're taking some.
Taking pelts. Let me.
For
Meat
meat
inside.
inside.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I'm sure we could. I'm gonna have a talk with the chef, but I'm sure perhaps we could throw those in a stew.
They're fresh.
They look it. I'll go get Dal. Have a seat, and I'll bring you to a cup of cocoa and an answer about those pelts. How does that sound?
And I'll just grab a chair and sit down.
Yeah, as you said, they're fresh and sort of held them out. You clearly heard the fox's tail hit the side of your bar counter and just go like thunk. It swung back as a solid pendulum.
Oh dear. I'm gonna head to the kitchen and say I'm gonna tap the chef on the shoulder and say, we have a particular surprise out there, maybe a new flavor for your stew. I'm not sure if you want to go have a look.
And you see the doubling as the chef on this day. It looks like the chef called in cold and didn't want to come in. So you see the owner of this establishment, Dal Thorne, his tall, sort of hunched stature with his truly spectacular, like friar's medieval bowl cut, who is really, elbow deep in an omelet, turns around and goes,
Elbow deep in omelet.
"You're in my world now." Turns around and looks at you and says, "Okay, so when you say unique flavor, is this like another colossal surprise, like the last time we had a big new surprise?"
No,
Guest.
no. Nothing like
I don't have
that.
room for
No.
another one.
No,
So,
this is much more palatable, I guess. No, it's just a couple of travelers have been. I think they were on a little hunting expedition and they
Sure,
caught
yeah.
some game, and it
Ooh.
looks like there's some meat on the bones. You should have
looks
a look.
like there's meat on the bones.
There's a lot of fur. You should go have a look.
Okay, yeah.
Why don't I take over? I'm gonna start rolling up my sleeves and be like, I'll get this, you get them. They're looking for rooms as well. They didn't tell me whether they wanted a hot cocoa or anything, but they seem a bit peculiar. But peculiar is your favorite flavor.
Now it is, because it has done wonders for the stonework of my establishment.
Honestly, Leo was the best thing to ever happen to this place.
I think he might have been, honestly. Is it weird if I say he's my best friend?
He's my best friend, but he can be yours as well if you want.
We could share. All right.
I'll take that spatula.
Yeah, as you go and you look at truly a disastrous omelet, there's a lot of shell. Might not be salvageable.
Did you throw the eggs in here? What is this?
What do you think scrambled means? And closes the door laughing like, don't know anything about cooking. As this tall person with a real bad haircut walks up to you guys and goes, "Well, I can assume by the frozen furs that you guys are the travelers looking for rooms."
Hi, my name's Tao. Today, I would like to present to you my wares.
Wow. First pitch? Well, I'm gonna cut you some slack because my name's Dell and I think that's a little bit funny. So, what you got?
Completely thrown off. Well, a fox and 4 squirrels.
Yeah, I can see that.
All killed within the last 24 hours.
Yeah, is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that persuasion or deception?
Persuasion.
Okay, roll me a persuasion.
I imagine anything caught before that we would have eaten.
Yeah.
No, there's a chance, but I don't know that.
Nat 20.
Oh! That's the freshest fox I've ever seen in my life. Ignoring that it's fully frozen and like swinging like a solid figure, not like something with limbs. Yeah.
I did say 24 hours.
Yeah.
All killed with a single pellet to the noggin.
A single pellet to the noggin?
I can sling.
Jeez. Okay, that's cool flex, I guess.
Am I doing it right?
You are.
I'm just like, Tal is just like sweating, looking so anxious, wanting this to go well.
Yeah. Well, he goes, "Well, listen, times are a little bit grim for us for meat, and there's actually a surprising amount." He grabs one leg. He goes, "Ooh, no, that's just bone." And then he grabs like the middle of it and goes, "No, I can make a stew out of that. Yeah. All right. How about this? I'll give you one night's rooms. You don't strike me, no offense to either yourselves, as people who are swimming in coin right now. I could give you one night's rooms in exchange for all these animals.
I like it. We'll say you make it 2.
All right. Deal.
Good.
Yeah. Welcome to Samara, Dalthorn.
Just hand the animal.
Goes for. I think goes to shake your hand, and before you can clasp it, there's just a foxtail.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
Thank you, sir. If there's any information, any, news about town, if we'll be staying here a while, we could pick up from you, from somewhere else.
I mean, if you're looking for news, if you're looking for information, you're going to want to talk to Encyclopedia over there, right by the fireplace.
I'll turn to look.
There's a big, tall-backed chair. It's just huge. Seems like, tremendously gauche and ornamental, like too big for anything, really. And in fact, it extends so high the back of it that you can't see anyone there. But you do hear a... and the flipping of a page. Yeah.
You're a little less threatening than I am. Why don't you see if you can get some information on what's going on in town?
I would have stopped at one night. You're really good at this. And Tal will go off to where that chair is and be like, excuse me. Hi.
As you are you walking like directly in front of the chair as you do this, or?
Yeah, so like I guess Tal will kind of like because the back of the chair is there, so walk up to the chair and kind of like start peeking around the side of it, like hello.
Yeah. And you see sort of as you're peeking around, and you say hello, hi. You see what looks like probably like a shoulder sticking out from the side. As you hear someone call out a hello to you.
Well, hello there, little one. Hello, how are you?
You see as he turns in the chair that was not a shoulder, that was an elbow. The shoulder is a good 2 feet above where that was. As you turn and are faced with, oh God, a monster.
So starting at the elbow, going like this.
Oh, you're a new one. I haven't seen you around town.
Dirk.
No.
Dirk.
Lior.
Dirk.
Oh,
Dirk.
yes.
Dirk, roll me a history check real quick.
Roll well.
History 9.
Don't know what this is.
Am I seeing him?
Yep.
Oh my God. Tal, get away! Trolloc! And I'll just charge and try and like push him away.
Oh no!
Scrambling backwards.
Everyone hears this.
Can I grab the chair and use it to fence him off like a lion?
100,000%.
No! Stay back!
This whole time I'm trying to like hit it away at this point,
Yeah.
taking out my shield and just trying to...
But because the chair is so comically tall in the back, you're keeping him a good 15 feet away from you. As this newcomer in the inn, Dalthorn walks back in and goes, I should have known. Oh, God.
You didn't give him the speech?
Page. We got a code 9.
Page runs in with like a bowl of steaming hot cocoa through the saloon doors and be like, I'm terribly sorry, I should have known something here. Lior, and I'm gonna give you the bowl. This is for you. Enjoy it. Calm down. No, I mean, it's all right. Sorry, didn't mean to touch you in the mouth. Yes. Good sirs. Let me present to you Lior. If you've never seen an Ogier before, this is an Ogier, a friend.
An ogre?
Not Ogiers are friends, not foes. All right? Is that all right? Is everyone? What?
Borderline plagiarism.
Foes.
Have I heard the word Ogier before?
You've both heard the word Ogier before.
Yeah, I was like halfway to pulling out a sword.
Another one?
Do I?
Oh no, I had my shield out. Yeah, I put one of my teeth in.
Would I know anything at all about Ogier?
For you, I think Ogier are just in the stories. They're a magical creature that doesn't exist, kind of like a unicorn. Just a fun story to tell kids. And everyone in your family, since you were younger, probably told you stories about Ogier.
I'm going to pull 2 chairs and say, this is the moment where we're all going to make friends, all right? Here, you can sit here. Leo, take your special chair. Why don't you tell them about what the Ogier do and what they bring to a community? You'll see, sooner or later, that you will fall in love with Leo the way this village has and come to appreciate him as a friend. I'm going to get both of you a hot cocoa. And
Don't leave!
Don't worry. Dal, could you get us 2 hot cocos? I'm going to stay here with our new friends.
Right, the therapy cocoa. Right on it.
That's right.
Heads back into the kitchen.
I'm like kind of beside. I'm too far away. I'm kind of beside Dirk, but like his shoulder might be in front of mine. I'm like, have you heard of an Ogier before?
Briefly, I thought they were made up. I still do.
My brothers would tell me stories. They're, well, not real. And I'll like go to poke you.
It's quite rude to point. You can put that down.
As Tal is doing this really slow-mo evaluation of you, sort of like in a futuristic thing where like you point at it and then there's like the green glass of tech that goes like
Stats, height, age.
Describe sort of what is exactly it is that they see that has caused this uproar.
Sure. Leo stands at 9 feet 4 inches tall. He has waves of shaggy brown hair that frame his Ogier face. He has these soft little tufted ears that poke through, and his long eyebrows tuck into his long locks. He has these hazel, gentle and playful, although now a little bit worried, eyes that sit above his broad, flat nose. And he has this soft braided beard that normally has a nice warm smile, but once again is in a little bit of a grimace as he asks, are you going to put that down?
Yeah, I'm just sitting, sword on my lap. No.
All right, well, I'm going to put my chair as far as I can away, and...
Tal's still reaching for the poke.
Okay, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to...
A distant voice howling through the chimney goes,
I'll be right here.
I was gonna say also plagiarism.
100%.
Is that sufficient?
It's real.
All right. Well, I'm an Ogier. My name is Leo, son of Mael, son of Thane, and I'm here in Samara as a traveler, much like yourselves, passing through. Ogier typically live in steadings. There's the one I hail from is Shangloon. It's on the other side of the Mountains of Mist, and there we live together. We're known for our long memories. We typically enjoy history, as well as gardening and botany and whatnot. Yes, and we're peaceful, so we are not Trollocs. It's not nice to call someone a Trolloc, and but we're easygoing.
Well, what if they're a Trolloc?
What if who's a Trolloc?
The Trolloc that you're calling a Trolloc, would that still not be nice?
Oh well, I didn't think of it. I mean, it's rude to call an Ogier a Trolloc, but you raise a valid point. I guess calling a Trolloc is on point.
How do we know you're not a Trolloc and you're just telling us you're an Ogier?
Have you seen a Trolloc?
No.
yeah, this guy's been trying to convince me that Trollocs are real. Can you get a load of that? That's a step too far for me, personally.
I mean...
What was the different step you had to take to get from no Ogier to Ogier versus no Trolloc to Trolloc?
What was that?
Well, before 45 seconds ago, I didn't think Ogier existed either. But
Right, but I know him, so difference.
so if Okay.
Yeah.
He's really come around, honestly.
Thinking with your brain.
Here is your hot cocoa, and here is your hot cocoa. You're gonna need 2 hands for this big mug. I try. Perfect. I'm gonna just put that sword under.
I think he's still holding it.
It's like on my lap.
I thought it was in your fist. I thought you reached for it.
Just turn your shield upside down, pour the cocoa in it.
Now, what are your names? What is your name?
Tal, son of Han, son of I don't know my grandfather.
That's all right. Your name sings in my ears, Tal, son of Hand.
But nobody sang.
It is an expression of pleasure at meeting someone. It is to say that your voice is like meeting you is like a song to my ears.
You talk a lot.
Is there anything wrong with that?
A little bit, yeah. People who talk a lot are generally hiding something.
Help me.
Paige is gonna go in and put a hand on both of them and say, "Well, this is going splendidly. You look a little bit cold, so I went to get you a bit of a blanket that I warmed up by the fire. Here you are. And you, sir, what is your name? Can I get you any beverage other than hot cocoa that might make you smile and feel tingly inside?"
My name is Dirk, son of Nunya, son of business.
I see what you did there.
I've never heard such peculiar names.
Your name does not sing in my ears.
I'm glad. Where did Ogier? How'd you find yourself here? Where'd you come from before this? A steadfast? An awning? What are you talking about?
It is a steading called Shangloon. You might know it if you knew more of the world. It's on the other side of the mountains of mist. It's yes.
Coming through that must have been hard. Do that all by yourself?
Yes, it was quite cold, I do admit. And thankfully, no accidents with the rocks, so I got lucky. No rock slides. And where are you hailing from?
South.
That is, there is a lot to the south.
Yes. I like to keep it that way.
Okay. Where do you hail from?
Have you ever been to the south?
I mean, I've been to some areas. Oftentimes I don't really know the names. My map doesn't seem up to date.
Okay, so if you basically walk for a month, mostly south, a little bit southeast, you're gonna find some farms. Now, if you start asking around for Han, then somebody eventually is gonna let you know where Han lives, and that's where I'm from.
Oh, okay. Well, I will keep that in mind should I look for Han.
Great sheep.
All right.
Dal, do you think the rooms are ready? Should we just show them where they are? You have a heavy bag there. Perhaps you want to leave it in the room. Or...
Yeah, Dal's been like leaning against a wall watching this whole thing like like chuckling like look at these new guys. And when you say, "Are the rooms ready?" He goes, "Oh, yes, absolutely. Right this way to your rooms. Absolutely. Please up the stairs, up the stairs." And Dal will show you guys up to your room so you can drop your stuff off.
Oh, thank
Got my bag and the heated blanket over that and the bowl of cocoa I haven't touched. And as we start going up the stairs, I look at Dirk and say, "Can I drink it?
Yeah.
Is it safe? Is it poison?
I don't think so, but you should try it anyway.
Is it good?"
You tell me. I mean, they haven't added our fox or squirrels yet, so who knows?
Like fully stick my tongue in the bowl.
Yeah. Okay. You go full snake. Cocoa, hot. Not too hot. You don't burn your tongue.
Have I ever had cocoa before?
Probably once or twice.
Oh yeah. Just like chug the whole thing going up the stairs.
Only after she's like sipped it do I like take mine and start like drinking it a little.
Be a good squire and check for poison.
I would have
Tal does not notice.
Yeah.
deliberately brought you like a big mug without a handle, so you would need two hands,
Yeah.
so you'd put down the silly sword.
Yeah. So I'll probably leave the hot chocolate downstairs, brought all my stuff upstairs, and then come down and take it, and then like go back upstairs with it.
100%. And Dal leaves you guys. He's like, well, take the time you need. They're your rooms, so trade's a trade. I guess we'll just get yourself set up over here. I'll be downstairs. Please don't try and kill my friend.
I apologize. I thought I was helping.
That's okay. Not everyone can be so enlightened as to, know an Ogier by sight and really remember the old stories.
How many times has that happened before, right?
Never to me.
Insight check.
Make one.
Oh no. 12.
Definitely at least once to him. Definitely at least once to him. And you get a sense with how bad I rolled, you get a sense that it happened once, he got used to it for about a week, and then he had one of those days where you kind of just like forget something and it shocks you all over again, and he's kind of embarrassed about that one.
Cool.
Yeah. Never happened to me. I know the old stories and I respect the fine folk. His singing names my ears.
Amazing. We get a small chuckle from that from Dirk. We'll enjoy that.
Beautiful poetry. Anyway, leave you to it.
Downstairs, Paige is going to look at Lior and say, so on 10, what would you give that?
I mean, on one hand, I think it was like an 8, and then the other hand, I think it was like a 2. So maybe we average it out?
A 5 sounds pretty good. I'll ask Dal what he thinks. I think we're getting better, though, especially for the new ones. 5 is close to being a normal social encounter. Yeah, you're doing great, Lior. I honestly think that you were quick, for one. That was good.
I know, the check came up right away.
Honestly, that was probably the quickest I've seen you move, and you're looking so young, like 50 years under your current age.
Oh, you're just saying that.
Very lithe. And you said all the right things. This time it wasn't you. I think it was a lot on them, but well done. We'll see what Dal says about this one.
No, you definitely handled that pretty great. You handled it pretty great. The one thing I would have to, if I might be so bold, when you did lift that chair, it does weigh roughly 400 pounds. And so if you look at the stonework a little bit underneath where the clawed feet were, and you look down and you see that there are like deep gouges in there, he goes, I mean, if you don't mind, I know.
The chair's already up.
It's already moved, so if you don't mind, I don't want to impose, but
Of course, Dal. I'll take care of it for you.
you're the best, buddy. And he like reaches way up to try and give you a high five.
I'll reach down.
Yeah.
I give him an elbow and say, my best friend. Cheeky. No.
At about this time, while you guys are still upstairs, the doors open. And two figures step in, at first seeming to be just covered in snow from the outdoors. But as they sort of shake off their cloaks, they remain white. As you see two children of the light enter in. Tall, one taller than the other, one of a shorter build, but both of them with a clear air of their noses upturned a little bit as they survey the room and look around. One of them...
Children of the light.
What?
And their accompanying children.
I'm gonna press the enigmatic silence button just to get away from whatever that was. Wow.
I thought I was hearing voices in the background. I wasn't sure.
I mean, there were.
I was like,
but
I didn't know if that was like Brad's ambience choice.
not a choice. No, I ran that loop for a lot of time earlier today, and there were never kids.
Children of the light with those like little yellow strings with a whole bunch of kids just hanging onto them.
Just like
Big
she's got
Watson.
her string of squirrels. But no, there's a haughtiness to the look that they give around as they enter the room, and you can see Dal sort of like stiffen up a little bit.
My hand on his shoulder and say,
Yep, and you notice that one of them is looking over at Dal, and the other one has looked over to the fireplace. The shorter one has looked over to the fireplace, and
"Top of the morning to you, my fine gents. Can I get you something to eat? Perhaps a drink?"
and the tall one sees the short one going and goes, hand on the shoulder. And he goes, "It's fine. It's not one of them. It's an Ogier. Well met, old brother." Not remotely the right address, but the short one is looking a little bit confused, but the tall one seems to recognize what it is that you are.
Okay.
He goes, "They shall have nothing. It's relax. It's just an Ogier. He'll have nothing to fear from us, just so long as he should walk in the light."
Of course.
Very well. Who's the proprietor here?
Oh, this is the proprietor's Mr. Dal Thor. Dal, we have guests.
You turn around, and where you had your hand on Dal's shoulder, gone. Saloon doors to the kitchen flapping.
I'm going to do a full 360 and say, "The proprietor is temporarily unavailable, but I can get you a delicious bowl of small rabbit stew."
We will not be taking any food. Thank you.
All right. A cup of cocoa, perhaps?
No, thank you.
Not a
We
problem.
will not stay long enough for that. What we seek is not food, but information.
What type of information? Maybe I can help.
The shorter one goes, "We're on the lookout for, some scoundrels, some friends of the dark who passed through on their way north to join this false dragon," and spits on the ground. "Light blind him. It seems that the path they were taking them would have passed them through here. You wouldn't happen to have seen anything or heard anything?"
Nothing by that description, but yet that seemed a little vague. We see many travelers. I'll go see maybe if Dal knows of any.
4 men, the taller one says. Varied heights, always in tatters, always boisterous, walking around giving people the blessing of dragon's might. Now, you wouldn't know anything, and I would presume you would know better to not hide anything from those who walk in the light.
Never would dream of it, honestly. Would I remember a group of this variety?
Roll me a history check, and then roll me a persuasion check, please.
History. That's going to be 14. Persuasion. Natural 1.
Natural 1. You don't seem to recall anything of this, but as you're speaking, something gets in your eye, and you blink a little bit, and the shorter one goes...
I don't actually... I don't know.
And the shorter one goes, "Hey, what's that? What's that twitch you got?"
I think it's a mosquito, honestly. It's-
Mosquitoes in the winter.
well, that's why I was as confused as you. This is quite strange, honestly. No. It's a fruit fly.
Quite strange, huh?
Yes.
Seems there's a lot of strange in this establishment.
Well, on a day like today, everything seems a little strange, don't you find? Why don't I get Dal? And maybe he can have a look at the register. That way we can narrow down the search, perhaps. We don't want to get in your way. We want to help.
Yes. Get that... The tall one goes, "Get that register. And
Of course.
Luke, follow. Make sure that she doesn't get lost on her way." He goes, "Pleasure." And the shorter one comes up with you, goes, "Let's go. Let's find your boss."
Let's go. I have a date. I'm going to look at Leor and a little wink like, "All right, Dal, where could you be?" And I'm going to open the saloon door and say, "Oh, Dal."
You see there's like an open cabinet, and you don't see anybody, but you do see 2 feet on the bottom of the cabinet.
I'm gonna walk in and pull. Do we have a Dal here? As I yank on the ankle.
You do a yankle? Yeah.
I yank.
100%. And there's a bit of a as you do grab. Oh, sorry. I just got caught up looking for. Oh, hello, sir.
Calvin here would like to know if we had a couple. I believe it was dragon followers.
It's Luke.
Sorry, my apologies. We see many people here, and I get names confused. Luke here would like to know: do we have perhaps a look at the register? Dal, would we be able to help them?
Right, the register. Just a second, and you can see that he's like looking at you and going like, just a second. Every time he looks over at the white cloak, he's like, and sort of like shakily holds out a book. He goes, "Here's our registry of guests," and grabs it. And as he's flipping through, just sort of looking at names, Dal does have a pretty hard time remembering names, so he does kind of write in like you actually see as you're flipping through one mark about 3 to 4 weeks ago says Lior, really tall guy, but he does seem to write himself little like reminders of who's in there as their occupied page with you turning through the parts of this book. The taller, suaver one walks up and goes, "Now, friend Ogier, so far from the steading, what is it exactly that you're doing here?"
I am simply passing through. I'm on my way to the capital.
No further north, I would assume?
Of course not. I
Things are dangerous.
wouldn't dream of sticking my nose in human business. I'm just there to fulfill our end of the contract and take care of the capital.
Of course. Looks around and back at Paige, and he goes, "And of your companion? Will she be joining you, or is she merely a peasant within the city?"
Miss Page.
Yes, Miss Page.
Well, we had discussed that, although I guess we've been dragging our feet a little bit. She did want to see something. She wants to be a healer, so she was maybe thinking of leaving. There isn't perhaps quite enough action around this town.
Oh, a healer. And he perks up a little bit. Goes, And now what sort of salves or poultices might this be? I'm sure that sometimes, perhaps, her cures work remarkably well. Roll me an insight check.
Sure, yeah. That's 13.
13. You can see there's a little bit of a feverish look in his eyes as you say healer.
I mean,
And you do sort of recall, as much as you don't try to meddle in the affairs of humans, what the connotation of healer might hold to a white cloak.
I mean, I've spoken with her, and she seems to know her herbs well.
Right. Her herbs. You're done flipping through the book. I'm sorry, there's nothing, I didn't see any, 4 guys. I'm just trying to get 1 guy in. No help, I'm afraid. And then the shorter, squat one goes, All right. Dead end, looks like.
I'm sorry, sir.
Light be with you.
And also with you. I look at Dal.
Dal looks at you and goes, What was that? What was that?
Look at Luke and say,
And Luke just turns around to the taller one and goes, "It's a dead end. We got nothing." And he turns around and goes, "All right. Well, it appears you've helped as much as you can, I would hope." Looks at everyone appraisingly and says, We'll be on our way. Wouldn't want these ruffians entering your town and causing any sort of mischief for all those who walk so clearly in the light. And is giving you like a very pointed series of looks that you don't have context for right now.
I'm gonna do one of these like.
You will look when a child of the light is addressing you.
Of course, I thought there was someone else.
No. Your inn is empty, there's no one else. At about this time as he's going, we'll take our leave, you two come walking back downstairs and you see these figures in like this like really frosty showdown.
I've been imagining this re-entry since before the White Cloaks.
Okay. Paint me a picture.
Tal is kind of coming down the stairs, kind of like doing a little hip dance. Hot, hot chocolate, hot, hot chocolate, hot, hot chocolate, and sees everybody.
Yeah. You will look at a child of the light, chocolate, when you're spoken. Hello, boy.
Hi.
And the short one goes, enjoying your cocoa, but you can see there's a little bit of a look in his eyes like, I wish that my tall friend had said we could stop for cocoa.
I was gonna ask for seconds.
Right, well, I think that's a
Look at
bit
Paige.
away from our purview.
Second? Yeah.
Perhaps we'll see you further north, friend Ogier.
If you are in the capital, perhaps we cross paths again.
Yes. Likely that will be the last we see of any of you. Another pointed look at you. And the shorter one, Luke, goes, we're losing light. Right. Light be upon you all. And what are you doing as you?
We've gotten to the landing.
Yeah.
She's kind of come up,
She's
and
on
I'm
the
taking
chocolate
like
landing.
2 or 3 steps back on the stairs. So I'm just kind of watching from like the staircase.
Yeah.
Just trying to get in their features, see where they do.
Yeah, 100%. And looks over and goes, light be upon you. Light be upon all of you. And looks up into the stairwell, but just looks towards where you are and gives a nod, and they walk back out the door.
As soon as they walk out, I'll just go, Tal, stay here. And I'll just go to follow them.
Okay. And the innkeeper Dal goes, I don't know if that's such a good idea. I mean, they're pretty tough guys, but and I feel like you probably just keep walking by.
Yeah.
And, okay, well, I try to give some advice, but
Dal, it's all right. That was uncomfortable, but let's. How about some hot cocoa all around to lighten the mood? Too soon. All right. Okay. I'm gonna go in and get some hot cocoa for everyone.
My bowl is on the table. I, for the first time, have disobeyed an order, and I'm stealthing after Dirk.
Oh, man.
roll me a stealth check, and roll me a stealth check.
Wow, well, I roll with disadvantage, so that's an 11.
Do you roll with it?
I should with chainmail? Maybe not.
I can double check.
Yeah, you want to?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
And you rolled a what?
5 and an 18 plus 6, so 11.
Oh, okay, solid.
13, and I'm seeing if I have anything that makes that better.
Okay, your passive is
14.
Yeah, chainmail gives disadvantage.
Yeah.
okay. And you sort of walk through, and you see outside them walking through the square. You see them walking by where Marine's cart is, and it's sort of stopped snowing a little bit by now. But you see that she's like sort of shying away and holding onto her best persimmon behind her back. You know what a persimmon looks like.
Of course.
Doing persimmon things.
Yeah, because it takes her both hands to hide it behind
That's
her.
right, because it's a two-headed fruit.
Two-headed fruit.
And you see they're going around and asking questions to people. People are like trying to sort of avoid them, but if they catch someone trying to avoid them, that's when they really zone in and hone in on them and ask them real pointed questions. And you sort of stay far enough back that they're not being noticed. But you do hear crunch, 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 crunch behind you.
Yeah, and like, as soon as I hear that, I feel something's following me. I'm gonna immediately like turn around and like draw a small dagger and like try to put it up against whatever I believe is following me.
Yeah. And as you do, you turn around and small dagger against maybe about 5 to 10 feet away from you now. Just sort of trying to creep up, thinking that you had already moved on around a corner. You are sticking your dagger right out at Tal.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, damn it, Tal.
It's like, I know you told me not to, but it's with the...
Yeah, and I'll like look back, see them kind of talking out there and go, it's for the best. We don't want to get caught out here. Let's go back. And we'll just head back.
Yep. And you guys head back into the inn. And now there's a bit more going on around now. People have sort of like been congregating in the inn since it's like, why are all these white cloaks doing here? Like, what's going on? The sort of shisty assistant of Dal at the Dancing Goose, sort of slinky man named Barley, goes, right, ill tidings it is. It's not good for their kind to be here, especially with all the other riffraff going about. And Dal says, I don't think you'd be so bold as to say that to their face. Oh, I'd tell them to their face, I would. I'm a real intimidating... Listen, you don't want to mess with old Barley. And at this point, you sort of slam the door open and a full... but a few more people are in the inn. And Dal looks back at you and goes, some sense in you. It's not good to go chasing around those white cloaks. They're always in here and up to no good.
What they say they were looking for?
I'm looking for some ruffians that seem to be followers of this false dragon nonsense. In chorus, everyone in the inn. Seem to be followers of this Logain character, making their way north. They didn't stay here, I'll tell you that.
Did they say what they look like?
It's that kind of dirty, kind of mangled clothing, a little bit rambunctious maybe.
4 of them. They were looking for 4 of them.
Right, 4 of them.
Tal's like looking back and forth between you guys and Dirk.
Yeah, and like seeing you look back and like everybody's looking at us, I just kind of give you like a little kick on your foot. Just...
Would I notice anything?
Roll a perception check.
It's an 18.
18. Yeah, I think so. You see a little bit of there's a wide-eyedness to Tal that hasn't fully gone away in the short time that you've been interacting with him, but you see that there is a bit more of a pronounced, as more details of what these men were, what these men looked like, start to come up. There is a little bit of that, and then you do see a little kick and snapping back into a little Coco mode.
Seconds.
Please.
Of course. Take it and I'll disappear in the kitchen, straining to hear the conversation, but making enough for the group.
Yeah.
One big bowl for Loial and a little bit for everyone.
Yeah.
On a platter.
Lior will follow Paige into the kitchen.
Sure.
And just kind of like worriedly scratching his head, say, "No, dear, I might have misspoken.
Everyone misspeaks with them. They're just looking to cause trouble. Don't worry. I'm sure it wasn't anything problematic.
He was just being polite and asking questions, and I was answering them, and I told him your interest in helping and healing, and, well, I forget how quickly you humans are to jump to conclusions sometimes. I'm sorry, I don't mean that about you. I meant it in general.
Just a 10-foot tall guy going...
There I go, again, sticking my foot in my mouth.
We are quick to jump to conclusions. What did you mention, out of curiosity, he asked you about me?
He just wanted to know where I was going, and I told him I was going to the capital, and that he asked if you were going to be accompanying me, and I said, well, we've hit it off, and that you were hoping to become a healer. And then he got this real intense look on his face.
I see. Not a problem. In the future, if they ask, I'm more of a herbalist. My mother was able to teach me many of her different natural remedies. I have like a passion flower chew that helps you with a cough and things like that. Often it's misconstrued by some folks. Herbalist is probably a better noun to use. But don't worry, Leo. It wasn't your fault.
Thank you, Paige. I will be more careful.
Don't sweat it. Watch your head.
Yes.
Now that you guys have been sort of taking a bit more time in this common room, you do see that there is sort of like a notice board up. And a thing that both of you notice is, to all able men, the call is yours, the answer yours to make, and then the royal seal of King Johannan of Gildan, and then it says recruitment for the Legion of the Wall.
The Legion of the?
The Legion of the Wall.
Of the Wall.
Yes. In Johanna.
I'll point it out to Tal
Yeah.
and go, well, I guess that's our next stop.
Yeah.
You still want it?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we go for it. Seems to be some stuff going on in this town, so maybe the quicker we get out of here, the better, but let's lay low for a bit. Those white cloaks poking around, I don't want to be too suspicious and leave town too quickly.
Lior, you just hear them say, leave town quickly, while they're looking at a poster for Johanna.
I mean, I know it was scary, but Paige has it all under control, and Al, and there's nothing to fear. The children will not cause us trouble.
You believe that?
Paige is very capable.
I don't care really how capable Paige is. They are children of light, and whether you have been vetted as an Ogier or not, they've taken a liking into the establishment.
Well, you see, well, Paige and I were thinking of making our way to the capital as well. And while I realize your feelings towards me, there is something to be said about strength in numbers.
I would have said no. But I don't travel alone anymore. And we're going to Johannan for you.
Going there anyways.
Going there anyways. Would you like more company as we travel?
Oh, which questions am I gonna ask him first?
I'll take that as a yes.
Oh, no.
When are you ready to leave?
Well, let me check in with Paige, but I believe we were
The door opens and says, right now is good, yeah. We can, yeah.
Oh.
Anytime you want, Leo. It's up to you.
Well, how... I think you were wise. Maybe tomorrow?
Yeah, Dal's going, sorry, if you don't mind, Lior, just my stonework, the floor, you know. It's just, everything else looks so good. And you guys do look around and, like, it's really, now that you're noticing it, it's like, man, the stonework is good. There are not seams on the chimney. It doesn't look like there are multiple stones. It looks like a solid pillar of some sort of stone that was somehow, like, poured in one form. That's impossible. Everything, the stonework in here is really good. There look to be a bunch of really like nice new mugs that are stone carved. And so that section that's scuffed by where the big chair was does really stick out a little bit.
I could just put the chair back over it.
I mean, if I've seen you work, it's like one day if you don't mind.
We don't mind, of course, do we?
It's just one day.
I mean, you did have a very good point that we don't want them to think that we're running out of town. So waiting a day or two might help. And what's your collective noun? That's my question. Do you live in families, in herds, in groups? What's your collective noun?
Well, we live in a community called a steading.
Yes, but like, I live in a village, or like I don't, but I live on a farm. But do you have brothers and sisters? Like, are brothers and sisters a thing in the Ogier?
Of course, there's brothers and sisters. I have parents.
So is it a family? Is it
Paige,
a herd?
drinks.
Is it a...
Yeah, Dal's going, oh my god, do you have brothers and sisters? That's so insensitive.
What's your collective noun?
Collective noun, does this kid like go to school or something? What does that even mean?
How
big
about
mug.
you can ask as many questions as you would like when we are on the road? I think we have a little bit of work to do to get ready, and then you get as many questions as you would like.
As
That's dangerous.
as you start taking out a notebook and starting to write what questions you want to ask, and you're walking back in with drinks, and you're holding your head in your hands, and you're just excited that someone's curious. Sort of talk is petered out a little bit in here, but it picks up. The noise picks up once again as the door crashes open and hits against, and you see the hunched figure of Marine leaning against the door. And help! And sort of falls directly onto the floor, looking scuffed up, her clothing torn, a little bit of a fat lip. Please, someone, please.
And I'll rush over. What's her name? Marine, are you and your persimmons all right?
I'm fine, but my persimmons. I'm so mad you hit the nail on the head. It is the persimmons. She grabs you by the collar and goes, they're gone. They took them all.
Who did this?
These four. I don't know. They were laughing and talking all sorts of nonsense, but these four men just came up and while I was trying to walk back to my house.
Marie.
The persimmons.
Where did they go?
West. My home is west. They walked out the west gate.
They left town.
Yes. They made all this noise about going north, but if I don't have my, those were the last I had for the whole winter.
No one should treat you like this, Marine. Ogier,
Yeah.
you're with me. We're getting those damn persimmons back.
I
Guess
don't.
that means you're with me.
What?
We gotta get let's go!
My persimmons.
Yo, what?
What?
Let's go! I am, of course. Your persimmons. I look at Loial.
We're gonna lose them. Let's go.
Right.
The persimmons.
I will run to grab my staff, my simple quarterstaff.
Sure, just your quarterstaff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Your quarterstaff is downstairs. It's leaning by the fire.
Fantastic. Where I was reading, I'll just grab it in hand and say, I don't see what use I will be in this endeavor, but okay. And I'll just chase after you.
I'm gonna disappear in the kitchen. I'm gonna bust out of the saloon doors, and I'm gonna take my towel and go like, whoosh, with a ladle in my head and say, Dal, I'm gonna be back. I'm off.
First, Dal looks at you like a little bit incredulously, but then he sees you crack the towel, and his hand just goes up to what you can see is like a fading black eye, and he goes, You have the strength to do what must be done.
The persimmons.
Did you
They
turn
call.
into a New Yorker?
It's been a gradual decline.
And it's never been better.
Hey, I said this wasn't canonical. This is another
love it.
turning of the wheel,
It's a
baby.
lot.
Accent work, not our forte, but we're out here.
Tal takes off running,
Right.
Yeah.
I'll take off after.
not to be confused with Dal, who does not go anywhere.
Yes, yeah. Dalthorn goes and right away goes to Marine, and as you guys are getting yourselves bundled and ready to go off, he goes, "Let's sit you in the big chair. You like that, right? Just let's calm you down a little bit, Marine."
As Tyler's opening up the door, you can finish my cocoa.
No. And you see, like, even though she's a little bit like bruised and beaten up, she goes, "Oh yay!"
Paige will go, if you're heading up, Paige will go running after, and then appear back in 5 seconds later and say, "It's very cold out there," and then grab a cloak and say, "Okay, let's try this again."
Yes.
Right, and I'll take off how to run after them.
Yeah.
I have to actually slow down my run a little bit because of the height difference.
100%, 100%. You're kind of just doing like an Olympic power walk while they're full like get outing. Yeah. So you guys head out and no, the White Cloaks, not any sight of them really right now. Doesn't seem like they are particularly around through the area of the town. And they said through the west gate, which you guys would know where that is, having been in town long enough, sort of following along the river, continuing out westward. And you see sort of covered up with, it's going to be relatively hard to track them because you see sort of covered up with some of the tracks is like snow that's blowing over it because it is windy, even if it is not snowing. But you see these tracks leading outside of the town.
Catch my breath real quick and go, "Those White Cloaks were looking for these individuals. If they're causing disturbances around town, we can catch them. We can get in nice with the White Cloaks and they'll leave us alone, especially if they see us again. Let's do this quick, come back. We can leave tomorrow."
What do you mean by do this? Are we going to go talk to them, perhaps?
We could start with that.
All right.
I'm not starting with talking. They beat up an old lady.
And the
I'm
White
with you,
Cloaks
Tal.
will see fit to... All right. I'll follow your lead.
They're clearly not with the light if they're beating up old lady
Marine.
Marine.
We're gonna tough time with that name.
You nailed the persimmons. But
Yeah, the persimmons.
If when you're leaving, the town sign of Samara says, "Welcome to Samara. Everyone loves Marine land."
I love it.
As you guys are following, I'd like someone to make a survival check as you're trying to find these prints through the snow as they're going. It's a little offset by the fact that there are 4 of them, but you do see these like sort of, it's not clean prints. They're kind of kicking through the snow, scuffed here and there, zigzagging around, but you are trying to track them.
I look at everyone and say, I can track, but it's not my forte.
I mean, I could take a look.
Make yourself useful.
I don't like it when you... That's a lot of pressure.
I'll help you out.
All right. Then.
Oh wait, can I help if I'm?
You can help.
Yeah. Okay.
You can help.
I think we'll all try and help a little bit, but...
Not good. It's a 10.
Maybe you can't help. Ooh, with a 10, you kind of lose the tracks a little bit. As you're heading west, you're following the bank of the river, and then you see sort of what were a bunch of tracks scuffed up at once, and you see, aha, I've picked them up again. But then you look, and they're like sort of like claws and paws, and you see like, oh no, they cross paths with like a bear or a wolf or something, and they are not on this path. They're not heading further west.
I'll be honest. Tracking sounds much easier when you read about it.
You have... It's okay.
Got a book out in the blizzard.
Very Ogier thing to say. Very on point.
Well, let's head the opposite direction for at least an hour and we can head back to town.
All right.
Can we go back to where we knew we saw the tracks and try to find them again?
Yes, that's absolutely what I meant instead.
Roll me intelligence checks with advantage for you, Tal. Ooh.
Natural 20.
It worked!
It worked.
8.
See, you didn't do enough, like,
enough
like
flair.
tectonic.
I needed to really make it clack.
Natural 20.
No,
No, that was a natural 1.
Wow, no clacking. No
No
clacking. You're a little bit lost in this, and seeing these animal prints, you're kind of thinking more like, oh, more furs. But you, with a natural 20, you remember that the White Cloaks had mentioned they were heading north.
For the war. Right.
And so you walk back to where the tracks diverge, and you see faintly less, but now tracks headed more far north.
Let's pick up the pace. We found them. Go double time.
Go double time.
Double time.
I'd like everyone to make, as you're running through the snow, I'd like everyone to make an athletics check.
This is what happens when you speak for the group. Things just happen.
Mother.
I don't have the footwear.
Dirty 20.
I got a 10.
I
Got a lot of armor
I
on.
got an 11.
I got 3.
Oh.
DC was 10, so you're a little bit slowed. You guys don't get to go, like, marathon mode, but 3 out of 4 ain't bad. And I think at a certain point, Lior, you probably see that Paige is struggling.
Yeah, I'd give her a hand.
Yeah. 100%.
Literally just pick up and sometimes, help her over snowbanks and yeah.
Exactly. And that's a great help, as it's cold out here.
Yeah, people will be like, I'm fine, I'm really, thank you. And just take all the help she can get.
You guys are making your way northward and following these tracks that grow clearer and clearer as it appears that they're not maybe in as much of a rushed space as you are, until everyone roll me a perception check real quick.
Oh, that one.
Oh my lord, what is happening?
21.
13.
Tal, you hear with your young ears a strange laugh that ascends to a frequency that only the young can hear, and you motion everyone to stop as you've heard this sound of life. And where you guys are at is sort of along I don't want to call it like a cliff per se, because that gives the connotation of something that's very high, but what you're at is sort of like the side of a bluff, something that, you could do as like recreational free climb or something like that. But it is trees on top, pure like rock and ice scale on the side, and you guys are sort of rounding the corner of it as Tal, you peek around, and you all hear now laughter, and one voice going, Kevin, I didn't believe you, but these persimmons, my God. And
My blood starts to boil.
laughter from others, and a lower voice saying, that's the great thing about this new world order. We see what we want. We take what we want. Dragon's might.
I hear that voice and my hand just goes tighter on my staff.
Yeah.
Do I recognize it?
100%. You recognize both of those voices.
Yeah.
And you hear these voices around. And you're hearing also other voices going like, oh my, and the look in her face when she said that we couldn't take them, look changed pretty fast, huh? Like just boisterous laughter. There's boisterous laughter, and then there's when a cackle gets like from a point of like, and it's getting a little bit delirious. Some of the sounds that you're hearing, sounds of like breaking bottles and stuff.
Should I be the one to go talk to them, or would you prefer to do that?
We're not talking.
Well, of course we're talking.
No, we're not.
No, we have to talk.
We have to talk. It's the first thing you do.
These guys don't talk.
They're hooligans, but I'm sure they
hearing
do
them
talk.
talking.
Tal, why don't you go talk to them?
Yeah, if you want to, Tal, that could be a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll sling my my quarterstaff back across my back. And as I'm walking by Dirk, I'm gonna say, "Come when I say cold."
I just nod. Yeah.
And so I'm gonna start trudging out towards them. I'm gonna like wrap my arms around myself, start walking, looking at the ground, not paying attention, just like look like I'm trudging through the cold.
What is she doing?
It's talking, like you said.
Oh, she forgot a blanket. Oh my goodness.
Like as they're saying this, I'm just
terrible.
like drawing my sword, taking my shield out.
You guys never hear of a conversation. As you walk up, how close are you trying to get them? You're seeing these figures now outlined along this outside of the snow.
Yeah, when I saw them last, I was on the side of the road. I was minding my own business. How far away were they from me? They were fairly far, and they still...
Maybe about 20 feet away from you, and you were off the side of the road, and then one of them started sort of like trying to walk towards you a little bit. You were backing off a little bit. Maybe about 20, 15 feet away from you.
Okay, so I'd like to pass within 20 feet of them and have it look like ships in the night, kind of. So like Tao's gonna start like kind of humming to himself, like looking like he's trying to keep himself warm and keep himself like energized and humming and look like he's kind of oblivious to the fact that there's this whole group going on there.
Make a performance check.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
12.
Hot cocoa, hot cocoa, hot cocoa.
You're walking by, and they're... Yeah. Oh, wait, shut up. And you just hear them stop.
Go, hot, go, hot, go,
Yeah.
go, hot.
Hey, kid.
Huh?
You lost or something?
I must be. I was looking for the town.
What town?
Well, there was supposed to be a town. Samara?
Yeah, we've been to Samara. One of them looks and goes, "Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?"
I recognize you. I saw you on the road.
Yeah, and Kevin, the short one, punches the tall one, who does most of the talking, and goes, "Is that kid that wasn't afraid of you?" He goes,
By this time, I would have liked to position myself so that if they're all looking at me, their backs are to where I left them.
So you're like walking.
She's past.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
have been walking past them.
"Yeah, a little bit tough because you're on the side of a bluff, but at the
Okay.
very least, they're not facing them necessarily anymore." They go, "Hell of a coincidence to see you so far away from where we first met, friend. You following us or something?"
Not necessarily a coincidence if we're both heading north.
"Not a coincidence.
I told you I was heading north right off the bat.
Yeah, what you heading north for?
I told you to join my people.
Hey, whose side are you on?"
Wasn't nearly as cold then.
Yeah, and at that, like, I'll just start, like, taking the gun, go, "We're up." And I just start running off, and I won't yell or anything, but I'm just gonna beeline it to, like, the last person in the group.
Cool. I want you to make a stealth check.
Yeah.
You already have disadvantage, but it would have been.
Excellent.
Yeah, I see
6 and a
that.
2.
100%. 100%. And the one goes, No. I like to hear what side you're on. It's not often we see someone follow us for a month.
I'm not following you, you're following me.
Yeah, and who are you following?
My people! And I'm getting more and more frustrated every time he asks, and as soon as I say that, I whip my quarterstaff off my back and I go to slam him in the jaw.
Yeah, as you do that, roll a, this is just an opposed dex check because we haven't quite entered combat yet.
Check?
Yes.
12.
12? Okay. Just dodges out of the way and goes, pulls out a fight. He goes, "New rules, kid. Anything goes. Dragon's might, huh?" At the same time as one of them on the side goes, "What the hell?" And they turn around and see someone trying to sneak and going clink, 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 along the wall. And they go, Ah! They came for the persimmons! As all of a sudden they pull out clubs, swords, awful little axes, and they turn around and they go, "Hey, you're not taking this. Where we go, there's no rules. We can take you with us, but you're not gonna like what shape you're in."
We're here to talk.
I look at Leor and say, when are they going to start talking? They're not really engaging them in a good verbal dialogue.
As Leor yells, "We're here to talk." You swing your quarterstaff back away from his face, and Dirk runs with a sword, somehow holding a shield and also 2 hands on a sword over your head. And Paige, I feel like you're just in the background going, That's where we're going to end our very first session of the, I want to say, tonally very accurate venture into Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time series. If you've stuck around, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode to see what happens in Who's Taking Watch? The Dragon's Might.
Ooh.